Look, get out of my face. I don't want to see you anymore, or let's sign a contract. Uh,
Do you hear where the problem is in there? Okay, if you're a fellow black belt in jiu-jitsu, are you not?
yes, sir.
What do we teach white belts when we go to set up the triangle? What are we doing with the little push-pull with the arm, right? And you're shoving the arm in so you can get your triangle, correct?
Yes.
When you hit blue belt level, right? You're not even thinking about that anymore. You're just going to take what you want. And in the white belt thing that I heard in there is you're like, well, I tried to shove their arm and the arm didn't go in, so I'm going to wait for them to pull their arm into the hole, right? You're saying, I'm following up with them and they're taking weeks. This is where I want you to have a set process. And I want you to take all of the emotions out of all of your deals. And what I mean by emotions, there are projects where people that are like, hey, professor, I didn't even know you had a painting company. I own a restaurant. I need it painted. You're like, hell yeah, right? That's a blue belt. He's for sure going to want me to paint it. The deal's mine. I'm going to get it. And another person that's like, I don't know. We're going to look around at a lot of places, you know, because we want to make sure we have the low PFE paint for the planet. And there's 42 other things we got to look at. Take the emotions out of it. Don't think one deal's going to close and one deal's not, because most of the time we're wrong, right? And instead of you waiting around and going, it's been 3 weeks, they didn't respond to my email, I want you to have a set pattern. I send them a quote, I follow up the next day, then I follow up in 7 days, then I follow up in 7 days again, then I follow up once every 2 weeks, twice for 1 month, then I follow up once a month for 3 months, then I put them back in my sustainable pipeline, because guess what? Somebody that might not want to paint right now might want to paint in a year. But what I want you to do is now you're going to run your game. You're going to run your process. And you're going to do it unemotionally. Okay? So unless they set a very specific next step for you, which if you're using a CRM, that goes in the bucket of set next step. Otherwise, do they know the price? They should, right? I'll get a quote. What's a good next step? I don't know. Let me get you a quote. I'm going to send you a quote over right now. Fair enough? Get the price in front of them because they can't make a decision without a price. And then you, on your terms, have set cadence of when you follow up. Stop waiting for people to call you back. If you allow your prospects to have control of your process, you're screwed. That's like the passengers having control of the airplane. You're the pilot. You decide when you're going to call them. They decide when they're going to call you back. You don't give a crap when they call you back because you're running your system. Your system does not depend on a single person ever calling you back, because I know that I left John a message today and I've already left John 2 messages. That means I'm not going to call John back for 30 days from today or whatever my cadence is. And this is something that I think it was Julia started working on this and it came a lot easier for her. What we can't have is 30, 40 on the low side, 300. I counted mine today. Me personally, I'm working 680 opportunities. Do I look frazzled? Absolutely not. It's easy for me to work 680 because I have a system. If I'm taking over the lead that calls us at Easton University, if I pick up that lead myself, I call them instantaneously. Okay, then I call them the next day. And I have 2 different voicemails that I leave. Okay, then I'm going to call them 9 days after that. Then I'm going to call them 14 days after that call. Then I'm going to call them 14 days after that call. Then I'm going to call them once a month, once a month, once a month. And then they're getting kicked into the sustainable pipeline or kicked out completely, depending on how things have gone. But none of that is a if this, then that. This is not an if this then that situation. This is I'm going to run my process unless you buy from me, you're getting my process. Does that make sense?